Hey friends, I just woke up. I haven't had time to do my hair or makeup or anything, but I just wanted to pop on here to talk a little bit about authenticity.
Authenticity.
Most authentic self.
To be authentic is
Authentic.
Be authentic.
Authentic. I feel like a lot of people think that they're being authentic, but they're not.
Authenticity.
Everyone wants authenticity, but I have no idea.
Authenticity. Are you as tired of this word as I am? I feel like it's being so overused in modern culture that it's lost all its meaning, to the point where if someone is feigning authenticity, I am immediately suspicious.
It's recording.
Okay. And there is nothing more triggering than the authenticity of influencers and online personalities. And this isn't going to be just another takedown of influencers. I want to answer, why do we like and follow influencers in the first place? Why do they grow to annoy us so much and start to seem so fake? And are they doomed to fail from the start? And maybe most importantly, what does this say about us? Because I know I can't be the only one that has noticed these beloved influencers growing in reach and fame, and then all of a sudden we cannot stand to see them. And we're going to look at this through a psychological, human behavioral, and cultural lens. So come along with me and welcome to the uncanny valley of influencer authenticity.
Being authentic is the key.
Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua, no artificial sweeteners.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
But first, we need to review a very brief history of the influencer phenomenon and pop culture in the last couple decades. The roots of influencing. Influencing began in the early 2000s with lifestyle blogs. People were sharing life updates, opinions, fashion, or parenting content, the popular ones gaining some sense of authority and influence. Let us not forget the cringy but carefree times of LiveJournal, Tumblr, and MySpace. I had a MySpace at 15, and it was truly the wild west of social media. They literally had us coding to customize our profiles back then. It was wild. I don't miss those days. Then came YouTube, where people could share vlogs, tutorials, reviews, and opinion pieces, more long-form content in a video format.
Guy comes up to you, starts dancing on you, you turn around and you give him one of these.
After that came Instagram. Launched in 2010, it turned everyday life into visual storytelling, although most of us were just posting shitty pictures of our food to share with our friends. This was about the time, however, that we saw early influencers rise and build their brand on unfiltered everyday life, or niche topics like makeup and fashion, travel, and food. The biggest shift was felt when TikTok arrived on scene and surged in popularity in 2019 and 2020. The algorithm allowed for anyone to go viral overnight without spending years building an audience. With its specialty being short-form, personality-driven content, influencer culture exploded.
I'm so glad you asked. I'm going to tell you right now. Okay. We end up at a Taco Bell. Goes, I would like 100 hard-shell tacos. Thank you.
Disrupting traditional celebrity culture. Pre-social media, celebrities were distant and unrelatable, but enter influencers and content creators, they were like the anti-celebrity, and the power dynamics flipped. People could grow an audience without traditional gatekeepers, like agents, studios, or networks, and fame became accessible to anyone, with authenticity being the key to virality.
What's up? Good morning, guys. It is 11 a.m. We have a big day.
Now, before we go any further, I think it's important that we differentiate content creators into two separate groups. I think of it like this: educational and topic-focused influencers. This is influencers that are focused on specific subjects or educational content that usually establish authority and credibility through their experience or expertise. Think cooking how-tos, parenting accounts, or health experts. These influencers are usually perceived as knowledgeable in their field, which helps their credibility and trust that audiences place in their content. Their content is usually practical and informative, which can fulfill our desire for learning and personal development. The second being the lifestyle or personality-driven influencer. These influencers offer us a sense of personal connection in the form of entertainment. Authenticity is the product for lifestyle influencers, and being themselves is the brand. For this video, we're mainly talking about the lifestyle and personality-driven influencer, and before we can understand why we reject them, we need to understand why we give our time and attention to them in the first place. Which leads us to our first question. Why do we like and follow influencers? The parasocial relationship on steroids.
I'm so good. I have like a slight to major histamine issue all throughout my body. My body's pretty much riddled with histamine issues, and I don't really understand what it means, but it is affecting me pretty negatively. I have like a knee thing, and also I got super depressed and ran away from every single person that I love and kind of avoided everybody that is worth talking to, and I'm pretty behind on a lot of deadlines, and so I'm really pretty stressed out about that. I can't really think about anything else, and it's paralyzing in a lot of ways. But how are you? Tell me everything. I want to know everything.
It's a common phenomenon for human beings to develop one-sided emotional bonds with fictional characters, starting with imaginary friends as children, then progressing to characters from our favorite books, movies, and TV shows. They feel like old friends, even if the connection is not mutual. But these relationships can be emotionally real to the audience, which creates loyalty, trust, and empathy. And interestingly enough, an article from the Scientific American stated, new psychological research suggests that loneliness can be alleviated by simply turning on your favorite TV show. In the same way that a snack can satiate hunger in lieu of a meal, it seems that watching favorite TV shows can provide the experience of belonging without a true interpersonal interaction. So when we're busy with work and kids and life and all of our responsibilities and we get overwhelmed, sometimes it's easier to just pull out our phone and scroll and get instant gratification rather than connecting with the people around us. And it's funny because I feel like most of us are unaware of this concept. Like even for me on social media, I have people that I haven't talked to in real life in years, but they overshare. So I randomly know every detail of their life. And if I see them in another context, like run into them in a store, it's just bizarre because I'm like, they don't know me at all. I barely know them, but I know all these details about them. And it makes me want to get rid of my social media. It's just bizarre. It's just weird. But relating to influencers, as humans, we were meant to live in tight, emotionally bonded communities. That's how humans evolved. And in our modern society, we're so busy. So many people feel isolated, overstimulated, and lacking of that emotional, intimate connection of another human. And so following influencers can satiate the innate need for belonging, like knowing what your tribe is doing and feeling a part of a group. Intimacy through self-disclosure. So I know we've all seen influencers crying on camera or celebrating big life moments. And what this does is they're sharing these vulnerable, private, behind-the-scenes type content. We're in their homes. We're watching their morning routines. We're seeing family updates in real time. And what this level of self-disclosure simulates is intimacy, and it builds trust and connection for the viewer.
My husband Cody is in rehab, and I am ready to talk about it.
I'm just looking. What?
Social comparison theory. So we as humans are wired to compare ourselves to those around us, and influencers by design feel like peers. So whether they're a couple steps ahead of us, equal to us, or multiple steps ahead, we use them as benchmarks, and that's their routines, their aesthetics, their successes. They subtly become our measuring stick.
I saw Katie Heron wearing army pants and flip-flops, so I bought army pants and flip-flops.
And related to this is social modeling. So from an evolutionary standpoint, humans learn by observing others, especially those we perceive as more successful, higher status, better resourced, fitter in a physical or social or financial way. Influencers present themselves consciously or unconsciously as these figures. Their value isn't just in entertainment, it's that they're offering us signals on how to look, behave, act, and succeed. This is known as prestige bias transmission, which is basically a fancy term that means that we copy people we perceive to be higher status, thinking that they know something that we don't. Next is the illusion of access and control. So early on, a lot of times the followers and audience will have direct access to that influencer and communication, whether that's through DMs or comments, chats, and polls. The influencer is going to be more likely to respond and interact with people directly because they have a smaller following, more time. Because of that access that the audience has, it kind of can give them a feeling of ownership or even partnership with that influencer and the success that they're having.
I just want to thank you guys. From the bottom of my heart, because this wouldn't be possible without you guys.
The mere exposure effect. Psychologists have found that the more you're exposed to something or someone, the more you tend to like it. Like I'm sure we've all experienced that coworker that we become friends with that you probably would not become friends with outside of work. That can be due to the mere exposure effect. You ready?
Yeah.
So applying this to influencers, even if you're not initially drawn to someone or their account, when they continually pop up in your feed and you're seeing their reels, it can create a sense of familiarity and preference. And over time, you can start to feel like you know them, even if you're just scrolling and you're not fully conscious of it.
Let's style the see-through mother of pearl top for day. This is a $500 real mother of pearl top. Let's put on the sequin mermaid dress for day 0. Let's get ready for day 0 of Coachella. We're going to Coachella.
Which brings us to our last one, the dopamine loop and algorithmic attachment. Scrolling and finding posts to like on our phone can give us tiny little hits of dopamine. This reward loop keeps us engaged and it keeps influencer content in our faces just due to the addictive nature of social media. But it can also activate our negativity bias. So our brain is hardwired to pay more attention to what it perceives as a threat, disruption, or contradiction. And when a once relatable influencer starts to feel cringy and out of touch, it actually can increase our engagement with that content because it activates our emotions, even if they are negative.
Cat's out of the bag. I'm shocked we've kept this a secret for so long. In 2 weeks, my show is coming out, which I'm so excited for. And also my business.
Now, where does that negative emotion and annoyance towards influencers come from? Before we answer that, we just need to add some quick context to the changes over influencers in the last decade. And you've heard it before, we need to follow the money. Monetization evolves, introducing the full-time influencer. As social media platforms grew, so did monetization. We saw YouTube's partner program, Instagram creator tools, and TikTok's creator funds hit the scene. We also started seeing sponsored posts, brand ambassadors, affiliate marketing, merch, digital products, and subscription models such as Patreon, Substack, and OnlyFans.
Let's get you started on OnlyFans. When I first started, Twitter was the easiest way to kind of get your foot in the door, but things have changed since then.
And as monetization evolved, so did the content itself. The posts started moving from more organic content to strategic, optimized, brand safe, and product driven. And here we land today. So is it impossible to maintain this elusive authenticity as an influencer and still be successful? Or was it never sustainable in the first place? And even if they are being real and authentic, then why does it feel so fake to us? It is now time to break down why we turn on these influencers and why some of them just can't seem to get it right.
Is the nastiest skank bitch I've ever met.
The relatability paradox. As we know, many lifestyle influencers grow their audience on being relatable, but as they grow and their lives improve, that relatable identity no longer fits, and this can be an uncomfortable contrast for some viewers. This isn't necessarily bad, but for an audience that signed up for that relatability, then their original brand has essentially collapsed, which can in turn weaken the connection with the audience, and especially if the content starts to feel out of touch and repetitive and braggy.
Try being an influencer for a day, because the people who say it's easy are so far out of their minds. I literally just finished work and it's 5:19.
Next is intra-female competition. This one's a little bit taboo, but it is well researched, and in evolutionary psych, women have evolved mechanisms to compete with other women for social status and desirable partners, often in indirect and socially strategic ways.
This would be settled in the animal world.
Influencers can often become the targets of this. They signal youth and beauty and fertility, often unconsciously, and they portray lives of abundance and desirability and success. And their audience is mostly other women. And this can cause a lot of comparison and jealousy and critical judgment. And it's not that people are consciously being mean. It's just that our brains are wired to assess and monitor potential rivals in our perceived social group. And, you know, jealousy is a very human and natural emotion. So let us not deny it. You know, she's an inside out too for a reason.
I'm Envy. Oh, look at your hair. Oh yeah, not happening.
Authenticity fatigue in the uncanny valley of realness. Today's influencers know that authenticity sells, but when authenticity becomes a performative strategy, we can tell. The more they try so hard to seem relatable, the more that we can sense the manufacturing of it, especially when it comes with product recommendations, discount codes, and overly edited looks. It feels close to real, but not quite, and it can create a subtle unease within us.
Help me find an outfit for the freaking Grammys. I am literally going in a few hours and I still don't know what I'm wearing, because I wouldn't be Remy without not knowing what I'm wearing last minute, you know? Okay.
So this is the uncanny valley of authenticity. When influencers' authenticity is manufactured or contrived, we can tell, and it is irritating as hell, and then we start to disengage.
It's okay. Let me back up now. Sorry, you're watching this realization wash over me. Okay.
Humans are highly attuned to inconsistent social signaling, especially when it's someone in our perceived social group. This instinct dates back to early tribal life, where cohesion, trust, and transparency were essential for human survival. In small groups, if someone signaled one thing, like I'm a loyal member of the tribe, but then acted in a totally different way, like hoarding food, lying, or exaggerating status, then it could threaten the entire group's safety and stability. This is known in evolutionary biology as cheater detection, an adaptive trait that helped us identify those who were violating the norms or expectations of group cooperation. And the emotional response to this, disgust, suspicion, and rejection. And we still do this today, especially with people who once felt like peers. In psychology, this is often tied to expectation violation theory, which says that when someone we trust deviates from what we expect, even if it's subtle, it feels jarring and uncomfortable. This can feel like a betrayal of a social contract. You used to be one of us, and now you're pretending like you still are, and our brains can tell that something is off.
I cannot stop this car. I have a curfew.
You know I couldn't invite you. I had to pretend to be plastic. Buddy, you're not pretending anymore. You're plastic. Cold, shiny, hard plastic.
And this is why it's not always about the money or the brand deal. It's the emotional dissonance, the feeling that someone has left the tribe but still wants to benefit from being a part of it.
And I want my pink shirt back! I want my pink shirt back!
And that's often the moment we get that ick feeling. It's not that they've changed or that they're being fake. It's that they act like they haven't changed or that they're just as real as before. Too many ads, not enough trust. At some point, everything becomes content, and then every single piece of content becomes a way to sell you something. When every video or story becomes sponsored, or worse, when those sponsorships are not clearly labeled or hidden, the viewer's trust erodes.
What are you working on?
Oh, I actually just opened up a Capital One 360 checking account. Took about 5 minutes. There's no fees or minimum balance required.
And the more influencers say, I only work with brands I love, the more it starts to sound like a script, because how can you trust the recommendation of someone who recommends 4 different face lotions and works with 20 different makeup brands? It just doesn't make sense.
M is having a buy one and get a free gift. Oh my gosh, this is crazy.
And this is over commercialization, the shift from sharing to selling.
Glow recipe. It's a Watermelon Glow Dew Shield Hydrating Fluid. I actually really love this one.
And viewers are typically more accepting of monetization when it is transparent. So for example, a podcast or a YouTube video that clearly states its sponsor for that video. Resentment grows when there is manipulation and dishonesty. When every single part of their existence has an affiliate link, you start to question if any part of them is real or if it's all just a ploy to sell you something.
I may or may not have blacked out at all times. Sometimes you just get lost in the sauce. Most excited about
influencer fatigue and oversaturation. More and more, we're seeing influencers copy the same product endorsements, trending posts, aesthetic, and the lifestyle brand is starting to become repetitive and bland. And we're all seeing the same patterns. The pantry organization bins, the same Stanley Cups, the same sponsorships and ads from worn out brands we're tired of seeing. We want novelty, and the commodity of the lifestyle genre has caused a lack in creativity and originality.
Running 12 kilometers today, and here's how I prep. I'm obsessed with these salmon shorts and my red vest. If you're wearing a cute outfit, you're totally gonna run faster. I also make sure to talk really fast because I know you guys have the attention span of a goldfish. Shoe flip. Oh my god, I almost forgot to tell you guys about my favorite headphones, the new Sony Brain Dead Pods. They're so good, I honestly forget they're even on my head. That's how comfortable they are. I always make sure to eat before my long runs, and today I'm making a berry banana smoothie with 80 milligrams of Vyvanse and Prozac, Greek yogurt, peanut butter, and pre-workout to calm the jitters from all the drugs. Guys, I am literally obsessed with this smoothie. I make it every time I run. I'll be honest, guys, I am the worst at stretching, but with Boston coming up, I am making an effort, and I honestly feel so much better. And I just look hot when I stretch. Now I just need to text my ex and block Eric, and I'm ready to go.
Kilometer 1, kilometer 2, kilometer 4, kilometer 5.
First gel. By kilometer 6, the Vyvanse was starting to hit, and I was absolutely vibing, you guys. Second gel.
Kilometer 10. Oh my gosh, I'm so ready to be done. Kilometer 12.
Guys, I did this whole run and totally forgot the Sony Brain Dead Pods were even on my head. Hit the link in the caption for 15%. This is when I quickly show a screenshot of my run so you don't have time to look at it because I actually photoshopped it and the results are fake. See you next time.
To conclude this section, here's a quote from NSS Magazine on influencer fatigue. According to YPulse, 44% of those aged 13 to 39 believe that influencers no longer have as much power as before. YPulse revealed that 61% of young people aged 13 to 39 lose trust in an influencer who posts too many ads. A key trend emerging from this distrust is the growing value placed on recommendations from friends and private circles. Indeed, 78% of young consumers now give more importance to the personal opinions of their peers than to sponsored recommendations. I feel like that was a good overall explanation of why we're feeling so over influencers, and that leaves us with one question remaining. Are lifestyle influencers doomed to fail from the start?
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
After the rise, the fall almost seems inevitable. Here are some of the final discussions and observations. It does feel like the structure of the genre makes it hard to win. So if lifestyle content is built on accessibility and relatability, the influencer invites you into their life and you follow them because they're relatable and reachable. Once their lifestyle significantly improves because of that success, then the original foundation starts to crumble. So every upgrade, new home, PR package, luxury trip, it adds more distance between the creator and the audience. And unlike creators focused on a specific skill, topic, or craft, lifestyle influencers are the product. So when your life is the content and then your life changes, the content and how people feel about it will change too. They would have to be able to shift gracefully into the traditional celebrity culture, but many would not be capable of this or could not do this even if they wanted to. And then the question of like what skills, what is their place, purpose, what are they bringing to the table, that kind of thing.
Oh my God, I'm going to the Grammys. Oh my God, I'm going to the Grammys. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm going to the Grammys. There's things to do.
We, the audience, are getting smarter and more evolved. We've consumed over a decade of social media content at this point. Ads, influencer launches, emotionally manipulative marketing. As viewers, our bullshit radar is sharper than ever. And we've sensed these subtle changes within our online worlds. The oversaturation of ads, the manufactured relatability, or the performed vulnerability. What's happening here is that we're becoming more selective about what we're consuming and why. We don't just want content, we want clarity of purpose and transparency. Like, what is the goal here? Is it teaching me something? Is it selling me something? Is it to entertain me? Is it to feed into someone else's narcissistic delusions?
I want to talk about you as a founder, as a CEO, as an innovator, as a creator, as an investor.
I think we will continue to find that as the internet becomes more and more saturated, that our attention will naturally demand content that has more honesty, intention, and depth. So what's our final say? Are these influencers doomed to fail by public scrutiny? An article I read from New Wave magazine sums it up pretty well for us. The influencer marketing industry isn't going anywhere. It's simply evolving. Influencers who can find a balance between paid promotions and genuine, relatable content will continue to thrive. The key is transparency. Audiences now expect influencers to be upfront about sponsored content. Being clear about when a post is an ad and showing genuine enthusiasm for the product is essential in maintaining trust. If there's one thing that's clear, it's that the influencers who adapt to this new reality, who embrace vulnerability, transparency, and authenticity are the ones who will continue to hold sway in the future. The rest will be left behind in the wake of a changing social media landscape where realness always wins. It feels like we've reached a point in internet culture where it's more important than ever to be intentional about what we consume and who we're giving our attention to. As we have learned, our social media feed can shape how we feel, what we think, and what we compare our lives against. Let us not forget that at the end of the day, we create and control our own online reality and what we allow ourselves to be exposed to on the daily. And if you do follow the big lifestyle or personality influencers, or even enjoy watching the train wrecks or the cringy ones, we can keep in mind that it is likely a performance, and at the end of the day, it is their job, and their job is keeping and getting your attention and selling things to you. And here's the good news. We're not just consuming content anymore. We're asking more questions, we're developing better filters, and hopefully this leads to more transparency and content that serves its audience just as much or more as it serves the one creating it. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on it, so feel free to comment below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.